Proverbs 1 and 7, the fear of the Lord Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and infinite glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles at Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to your hopeful elect Akim out there that are laboring, that are pushing this word in truth and in sincerity. And Shalom wa to Aqua, a few amount of sisters that do listen. Shalom to all you Akim. This is your brother Amar from the GMS Boise, Idaho camp, coming at you with a lesson, entitled Seek Wisdom or Else. This is just something that I was, meditating on through the Spirit, looking at these scriptures, because, amen, the people that are going to get it 100% understanding right now are only the prophets. Only the elect right now are given that 100% unlocked. That's the name, that's the doctrine, that's the law, that's everything has been unlocked in full understanding, in the sense that is urgent for salvation. The little nitpicking of how many exactly size is the planets and miles of the square foot is the biggest planet that is out there in the nebula galaxy or something like that, man. We don't need that for salvation. But the prophets are going to know 100% of the things necessary for salvation, and also, benefit your life as the best of the abilities, in this captivity, i.e., example, dietary law of do's and do nots, do's and don'ts. Again, those prophets are going to be the one that's going to get that 100%. The 1/3 that's going to be saved, they're not going to understand the full doctrine 100%, but they're going to have 100% faith enough to get saved. So think about that. You're teaching people that aren't even going to get it 100%, but they're going to believe the little that you do tell them, man. The little that the Lord Yahweh Shem Shai did give them, that's enough to get saved, even though they may not be a prophet, because not everybody is a prophet. But if you're really digging deep in this scriptures and this information, in this world news, in the history of our people, in the archaeological, accounts of different civilizations and how it lines up with the scriptures, which is very tedious, learning dates, memorizing letters and numbers simultaneously, with these Bible verses, etc. Some people's minds is a little bit harder for than normal, but the point being, it's a very tedious thing to tie all this stuff in and also keep up to date with news articles that are coming up every day, different things that we can say. It's very tedious, and to always be looking out for something, that's not something that every average everyday person is going to be doing. So if you do have that talent and you do have the ability, and the Yahweh Shem Shai did give you the full understanding and unlock you, every man given his portion, to this amount that and can put in and can multiply or whatever. Every man is given a talent, but you have to start somewhere. And the beginning is understanding and fearing Yahweh Shem Shai, and then the keys of wisdom can start to get unlocked in the process, which is going to be a daily, monthly, yearly thing, man. Because you're not going to be the same person. I know I'm not the same person I was 3 years ago, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, coming in and learning about this truth, man. Because and that in itself speaks volumes, because it's not about changing completely 100-day, 365, you're completely different. You're never going to have to deal with the bullshit that you deal with on an individual basis, whatever it may be, because it's a process, it's a time, it's a fight. The Lord has to put you through a trial. The Lord has to test you to see if you're going to go through adversaries in the world when you get introduced to this truth, and if you'll stick it out, and I was thinking about this chapter. I was reading Ecclesiasticus 39. I'm going to start at the top because it is a very tedious thing, but it is also a very rewarding. It's rewarding to have the sense of peace, not the sense of peace, to have actual peace in your mind and spirit, because the things that are going to happen in the future, in the sense of, if you're doing the things correctly to the best of your ability, Yahweh, and have the faith that Yahweh Shem Shai is going to be with you, then that's your faith, and amen. and you're doing the correct things, you're on the highways and byways, you're doing your lessons, you're doing your readings, you're doing your studying, man. If you're doing everything that you can to the best of your ability, man, that gives you a confidence. Just like if you work out, you're working out every day, you're getting swole, you're getting strong, you're going up on weights. That gives you confidence. If you're learning a martial art, you start out low, but you slowly give it, consistent perfect practice to try to be perfect, because they always say practice makes perfect. No, perfect practice makes perfect. You got to try to perfect it every time you do it. And that's something that you want to do in this walk, man. Constantly looking at yourself in the mirror, first and foremost, but also the things that are going on around you and how a wise man would move in those times, which is very tedious, as these scriptures will expound on. This is Ecclesiasticus 39 and verse 1, also known as the book of Sirach. This is, but he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High, and is occupied in the meditation thereof, will seek out the wisdom of all the ancient, and be occupied in prophecies. And that is, constantly being on your study, constantly understanding the history, because like the elders and apostles always say, if you don't know the history, you'll never understand the mystery. So if you don't understand where you've been, you're never going to understand where you're going. I know it's a cliche saying, but you have to know the history of your people to understand how it affects you in this modern day so-called time. But because we are in biblical times still. Verse 2, he will keep his saying. I want to say, Salakia, that this is a very time consuming thing. The constant and spiritually draining, in the sense that you're constantly looking at bad news. Like you're looking for bad news. I mean, you're not down in the spirit, but you're on your toes. Like, okay, what's next? Oh, prophecy, 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 man. Things are going on around the world, man. So there's something always to be taken into account, and prophecy being, things spoken of before they happen. So we see a news event talking about an advancement of AI technology that's implantable. We're going to tie it in with the what and say that this is just another step closer to the of the beast. Mark of the beast, the charagma, man. Try not to say, because these damn algorithms, that digital rice grain of rice. So we tell you what it is, man, as these things come. Verse 2, he will keep the sayings of the renowned men, the prophets. That would be the renowned men, the men that, wrote the scriptures that were divinely inspired by Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, Bashem HaKakodash. He will keep the sayings of the renowned men, and where subtle parables are, he will be there also. And there's many parables and similitudes throughout the scriptures, and the similitude is seeing a scripture and being able to break it down and how it applies to us in this day and age, and giving an example of what had happened in the sense of the scripture taking place is, for example, two woes are past, the third woe cometh quickly. You could apply that to many news articles that are coming out about the Third World War. Verse 3, he will seek out the secrets, Salakia, he will seek out the secrets of grave sentences and be conversant in dark parables. And grave sentences, which means like it's very, serious. It's like kind of, make you feel some type of way, not in a good way either. And conversant in dark parables. Dark parables would be, understanding how the Lord gets down on the left-hand side as well. Verse 4, he shall serve among great men and appear before princes. He will travel through strange countries, for he hath tried the good and the evil among men. And that makes me think of the parable, a traveling man is, full of wisdom, roughly paraphrasing, like he's like traveled a lot, is, full of wisdom because he's seen a lot. And this appearing before, serve great men and appear before princes, that's given a place of honor, but also, when we're tried, on our testimony of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai before these rulers in Babylon the Great. And that's pretty much it. I wanted to make the point that it is very tedious, that the Most High, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, is to the so-called attendance that you need to give by being on your toes. I mean, and by that I mean you're reflecting yourself in the mirror every day of how you dealt with situations. Did I deal with it correctly? You're being if you have a family, you got to take care of your family. You got a job, you got to make sure to put your lessons up. You got to make sure to have enough energies, to put a so-called, not a good face on, but not being that woe is me spirit. You got to deal with all the bullshit on top of, the world. And this is stuff everybody else deals with, but no one else has the burden, in the not in the burden in the sense of this ministry, but it's a burden when you live in such a wicked ass world, man. You know, like an example, your pizza, your company orders pizza and the whole shit's covered in pepperoni, but they said nobody bring lunch. We're gonna feed you guys. Boom, you find out that's what it is, or they give you burgers and they're all pink. Whatever it may be, man. You ain't gonna go pick it off. You ain't gonna eat a pink burger. You're gonna cut your losses. Just little things like that, man. But we gotta live our certain way in Babylon the Great, man. It's literally called Babylon the Great. It's going to have more adversaries to righteousness than adversaries to wickedness. And that's just the way it is, man. That's the belly of the beast, and that's why we're saved through faith, you know, and by doing the best of our abilities to practice the law, statutes, and commandments. Being a brother, there's a lot to it. But this is Ecclesiasticus 39 and 24, and then I'll close it out on this one. As his ways are plain unto the holy, so are they stumbling blocks unto the wicked. Because to a man, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, it makes sense to live your life this way. It makes sense, to do this and not do that because you see the consequences of it. Most of the brothers that, are in this thing have come out of the world and have seen the negative side effect of the world and the way it deals with you and how these curses hit, man. Because it's all about these curses hitting. And when you see them and you come out of them and you start living the day and night difference, you never want to go back, man. Because having the protection of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai and having the faith that he's been taking care of you, man, is beyond anything this world can give you for a temporary easement. Whether it be money, hoes, clothes, drugs, whatever it may be that this world gives to get that edge off. But, shit, brothers need a drink too, so I want to begin to say that that's not wicked if you're going off. Like, you want a drink, you want a mixed drink, you want a beer, I recommend, stay away from beer more if you can, and don't buy cheap liquor if you are going to drink, and because, hey, man, if you're taking this world sober, there's something wrong with you, man. That's why the Most High gave us some things to, you know, take care of ourselves. And that's actually in this scripture right here. And then I'll close it out on this one. But the point being that to live your way the way we do, Amen, Yahweh Bashim Yashai, it's a stumbling block. It's a big hell no to the wicked. But this is Ecclesiasticus 39 and 26, the principal things for the whole use of man's life. And I just wanted to bring this out because I brought up drinking, and you may get somebody say, "Oh man, why are you drinking? You're talking about people all doing that, but you're gonna say you want to take the edge off by having a drink? You're just the same." Now, hey, well, let's see what the scriptures say. Ecclesiasticus 39 and 26, the principal, which means that these are the first and main things, the principal things for the whole use of the man's life are water, fire, iron, and salt, flour of wheat, honey, milk, and the blood of the grape, aka yan yan, that wine, and oil and clothing, which are the carnal aspects that keep a man sustained, in this earth, in this life, So just to the point that, hey, man, first and foremost, the thing that gives you that peace is the wisdom and the comforting of the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of the scriptures. But also, the Lord, gave us things, to ease the flesh and to make this life manageable, So, Lord willing that this lesson was edifying, I was kind of rambling a little bit through the spirit. I had to get some things off my chest because, hey, man, this thing is really real. And you have to be appreciative if you are in this truth and you do know how to do these things and not do these things and see the benefits of doing and not doing them, man, like I said, you'd never want to go back. But Lord willing that this lesson was edifying to the elect. Until next time, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and infinite glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakodash. Double honors again to the beloved elders and apostles of Great Millstone, the time of his truth. Peace and salutations to all you hopeful elect Akim. out there laboring, that are pushing this word in truth and in sincerity. Until next time, Lord willing, Shalom.